The story of the pheasant in America is a fascinating tale of global travel and adaptation. These beautiful birds with their vibrant colors and long, elegant tail feathers are not originally from North America. Their ancestral home is far across the Pacific Ocean in the vast fields and forests of Asia, stretching from China and Mongolia all the way to India. For centuries, they were admired for their beauty and hunted for their delicious meat. It wasn't until the 18th and 19th centuries that European and American enthusiasts decided to bring these exotic birds to new continents. Their goal was simple, yet ambitious: to establish a new game bird for the sport of hunting, creating a tradition that continues to thrive in the modern era. Today, pheasant farming has grown into a massive industry, deeply woven into the fabric of rural American economies, particularly in the Midwest. Each year, U.S. farmers raise and release an astonishing number of birds, estimated to be between 10 and 12 million. This industry is a significant part of the larger hunting and ranching sector, which generates billions of dollars annually. While you might find small pheasant operations scattered across the country, the heartland of this industry beats strongest in states like South Dakota, Nebraska, and Kansas. These regions offer the perfect combination of wide-open spaces, ideal habitat, and a strong cultural connection to hunting that draws enthusiasts from all over the world. The primary reason for raising so many pheasants is to support the sport of hunting. Wild pheasant populations can be unpredictable, affected by harsh weather, predators, and changes in their natural habitat. To ensure a consistent and successful hunting season, private hunting preserves and state wildlife agencies rely on farm-raised birds. This practice guarantees that hunters who invest significant time and money into the sport have a reasonable chance of success. In places like South Dakota, pheasant hunting is more than just a pastime. It's a major tourism driver, attracting over 120,000 hunters annually, who contribute millions of dollars to local communities through lodging, food, and gear purchases. Beyond their role in hunting, pheasants are also prized for their unique culinary qualities. Pheasant meat is considered a luxury item, a delicacy often found on the menus of high-end restaurants and hotels. Leaner, and with a more complex flavor than chicken, it commands a much higher price, often selling for 3 to 4 times as much per pound. Even their eggs, though less common, are a gourmet treat, distinguished by their smaller size and beautiful blue or dark brown shells. This dual purpose, as a sporting bird and a source of fine food, solidifies the pheasant's important place in both recreational and agricultural spheres, making it a truly remarkable and versatile species. The life of a farm-raised pheasant begins not in a nest of twigs and grass, but in a carefully controlled and monitored environment. On large-scale farms, the process is a remarkable feat of agricultural science. A single female pheasant, known as a hen, will begin laying eggs when she's about 28 to 30 weeks old, producing a clutch of anywhere from 12 to 20 eggs. Farm workers collect these eggs daily to protect them from damage and ensure the highest possible chance of survival. Each egg is then gently washed, carefully sorted by size and quality, and prepared for the next crucial stage. This meticulous collection is the first step in a journey that transforms a simple egg into a magnificent bird. Once collected, the eggs are moved into specialized incubators. These machines are the modern-day equivalent of a mother hen, providing a perfect, stable environment for the developing embryos. The temperature is held at a constant 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and humidity levels are closely managed to mimic natural conditions. This precision technology allows farms to achieve impressive hatch rates, often between 85 and 90%, far higher than what is typically seen in the wild. For about 23 to 25 days, the eggs rest in these warm, safe chambers. Inside each shell, a tiny chick grows, preparing for the moment it will break free and enter the world, a testament to the blend of nature and human ingenuity. After hatching, the tiny downy chicks are incredibly delicate and require immediate specialized care. They are moved from the hatchery into brooding pens, which are clean, well-ventilated enclosures designed to keep them safe and warm. For the first 6 weeks of their lives, the temperature is carefully regulated, and they are given a special protein-rich feed to support their rapid growth. This period is critical, as the young pheasants are highly susceptible to stress and disease. Farmers must remain vigilant, ensuring the chicks have everything they need to grow strong and healthy. To prevent the birds from pecking at each other, a common behavior in close quarters, a small plastic piece is sometimes attached to their beaks as a harmless deterrent. As the chicks mature, they transition from the sheltered brooding pens to the next phase of their upbringing. At around 8 to 10 weeks old, They are moved into vast, netted enclosures that can span dozens or even hundreds of acres. These large flight pens are designed to simulate a semi-wild environment. Here the young pheasants have room to run, practice flying, and learn the essential skills of foraging for food. They are exposed to the elements, helping them acclimate to weather changes while still being protected from predators like hawks and foxes. Farmers continue to provide supplementary feed at designated stations and may use modern tools like drones to monitor the flock's health and behavior from a distance. When the pheasants reach 14 to 16 weeks of age, they are fully grown and have developed the strong flight capabilities needed for the hunt. Their time in the semi-wild enclosures has prepared them for the challenges ahead, but now they must be carefully gathered for transport. This process requires a great deal of skill and coordination from the farm staff. Using long nets, workers gently herd the birds into a smaller area. Catching them is a hands-on job, done with care to minimize stress and prevent injury. Once caught, each pheasant is placed into a specially designed transport crate. These crates are well ventilated to ensure the birds have plenty of fresh air during their journey from the farm to the hunting grounds. The destination for these farm-raised pheasants is either a private hunting resort or a licensed public forest area. Many pheasant farms operate as exclusive hunting resorts, offering a complete package for enthusiasts. These resorts provide a luxurious experience, complete with guided hunts, trained hunting dogs, and comfortable lodging. After a day in the field, guests can often enjoy a gourmet meal featuring the very birds they pursued. For public land hunts, state wildlife agencies purchase pheasants from farms and release them in designated areas to supplement the wild population. This ensures that public hunting grounds remain well stocked, providing opportunities for a wider range of hunters to participate in this cherished tradition. The release of the pheasants into the wild is a critical moment. The birds, accustomed to the relative safety of their pens, are suddenly exposed to a world filled with new dangers and challenges. Survival is far from guaranteed. In fact, studies show that only about 40 to 50% of farm-raised pheasants survive their first 2 weeks in the wild. They face threats from predators like coyotes, hawks, and owls, which they have never had to evade before. Furthermore, the birds must quickly learn to find natural food sources and shelter to protect themselves from the elements. This harsh reality underscores the difficult transition from a protected farm life to the unforgiving natural world. For the hunters, the experience is the culmination of months of anticipation. Pheasant hunting is a sport that requires skill, patience, and a deep respect for the outdoors. Hunters, often accompanied by well-trained bird dogs, walk through fields of tall grass and corn stubble, trying to flush the birds into the air. The sudden, explosive flight of a pheasant is a thrilling moment that tests a hunter's reflexes. The sport is not just about the harvest, it is a social activity, a chance to connect with nature, and an opportunity to pass down traditions from one generation to the next. The millions of pheasants released each year are central to keeping this vibrant outdoor culture alive and well. While pheasant farming is a cornerstone of the hunting industry and a significant economic driver, it is not without its critics and controversies. Animal welfare organizations have raised serious concerns about the practice of raising millions of birds each year for the sole purpose of being hunted. They question the ethics of breeding animals in captivity only to release them into an environment where their chances of long-term survival are low. The debate centers on whether this practice can be considered humane, especially given the stress the birds endure during capture, transport, and release. These groups advocate for stricter regulations and a shift toward conservation efforts that focus on protecting wild, self-sustaining populations instead of relying on farmed birds. Beyond the ethical questions, some scientists and conservationists have expressed concerns about the potential ecological impact of releasing millions of non-native birds into the wild. Although pheasants have been present in North America for over a century, the annual release of such large numbers can disrupt local ecosystems. Farm-raised pheasants may compete with native bird species such as quail and prairie chickens for limited resources like food and habitat. There is also a risk of introducing diseases from the farm environment into wild populations, which could have devastating effects. These ecological considerations add another layer of complexity to the debate over the sustainability and responsibility of large-scale pheasant releases. Despite these challenges, pheasant farming plays an undeniably vital role for many different groups of people. For hunters, it provides access to a cherished recreational activity, preserving a tradition that fosters a connection to the outdoors and supports conservation funding through licenses and fees. For chefs and food enthusiasts, pheasants offer a unique, high-quality protein that elevates culinary creations and supports a niche market for gourmet game meat. The industry provides a taste of the wild that is otherwise inaccessible to most consumers, bridging the gap between field and table in a very direct way. This connection to food heritage is an important aspect of its value. In the end, pheasant farming exists at a fascinating intersection of agriculture, conservation, recreation, and commerce. It is a practice born from a desire to create sporting opportunities, and it has evolved into a complex industry that supports rural economies while also facing important ethical and ecological questions. The future of pheasant farming will likely depend on finding a balance, one that continues to provide the economic and recreational benefits that so many people value, while also addressing the legitimate concerns for animal welfare and the health of our native ecosystems. The story of the pheasant is a reminder that our relationship with the natural world is always evolving and requires thoughtful stewardship.